Welcome to O People of the Book YouTube channel.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
Oh, people of the Book YouTube channel.
نبرات شعري سطرت لمداد حبري والقلم نبرات شعري سطرت لمداد حبري والقلم نبرات شعري سطرت لمداد حبري والقلم هيا قصائد سائلي قلب النوى ليس الشبم هيا قصائد سائلي قلب النوى ليس الشبم
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to our Saturday show. For you, some might have already entered into Saturday, some may be going into Saturday, but my weekend is finishing. Some of you are going into your weekend. I got work tomorrow, game over, as usual. And I've got loads of assignments that I'm doing. Tomorrow I have to, I have the deadline. I've handed in some and I'm still working on some. So I'm not going to be spending that much time today. I'll try and keep it short and get back to my assignments. But it's just I have a commitment, and obviously, I want to fulfill my commitment of, sharing the message with you. And like I mentioned, it's not just about polygyny. It's about a lot of a lot of it talks about iman, talks about turning back to Allah and everything. So you're watching O People of the Book, and this is your brother Jamal. And please like, share, and subscribe. And also, we're broadcasting on Consider This TV, which is a network of channels. I've got a fly flying around in here. A network of channels, and we have several channels on it. So please go into Consider This TV as well, and like and share. Anyway, having said that, let's move on. I don't want to waste too much time. First of all, I want to know if I'm going out, because I unplugged my laptop yesterday. I went to my daughter's house, and because I had my assignments to do, so I took my laptop there. I just plugged it back in again now. So let me just check if I'm going out. I'm sure I am, but just to be sure, I don't want to keep on talking and then not going out. So there we go. Let me just check yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. So we're going out, so we're okay. So let's get back. Anyway, like I said, this week I'm going to be short. I'm going to be a bit short because, I've got the assignments I'm working on. And I've got my Sira assignment, I've got my Arabic assignment that I'm working on, so we're going to be a bit short. We were on page 244. Yeah, we're on page 244 on the book from Monogamy to Polygyny, a way through. And this is the necessary reminders. Remember that this is a book written by sisters, 4 sisters. And it happened that I managed to have the book and I read it. So I decided to kind of like, share it with my brothers and sisters. Brothers can benefit as well from it, although it was written by sisters, for sisters. But you can get to know, the sister that you're going to be taking into marriage, and it doesn't only deal with polygyny. It deals with building your iman and having trust, in Allah and everything. So, I wouldn't kind of shun it and say, oh, this brother is trying to push polygyny to anyone or whatever. Well, there you go. Anyway, we reached the second paragraph of the book, and it says here, do not let shaitan grip you with his lies and falsehood. Instead, use your power. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Unfortunately, women do not use this wonderful weapon enough. Let us tell you right now, 50% or more of the mess you will think and feel is caused by whispers of that nasty, evil shaitan. Tell us if you knowingly could avoid these destructive and deceptive whispers. Would you? Something very interesting. Obviously, anybody, if they could stop the waspas of shaitan, they would stop it. They would stop it, isn't it? You can by just saying, "Oh, the shaitan rajim," which is something interesting because I don't know if many of us use that. Many of us, when we feel overwhelmed, whether we do use the mouth bilamna shaitan rajim, and when we start things, when I start our morning, our day, our day or whatever, do we turn to Allah? All this is very important. Yeah. If you are watching right now, if you could just give a little note in the comments, and maybe ask me how I'm doing, and maybe I'll tell you I'm doing fine. Yeah. It's nice to know anyway that there are people who are watching. And like I said, I'm not here for the likes. I'm not here for the amount of people watching. Even if I don't have anyone watching, like I said, I have a commitment with you. So even if there wasn't anyone watching, I would still be doing the show because of the commitment that I have. And like I said, I've got my assignments waiting. I've just left my assignment and I decided to take a break and do this instead. So anyway, so please subscribe, like, and share. Every single time you have a thought that is bad, destructive, and will cause you to begin to cry and feel depressed, say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." Every single time you even have an inkling that you will begin to feel negatively about something that you aren't supposed to, say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." When you're feeling good, say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." When you are feeling bad and angry and depressed, say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." Say it aloud, repeat it over and over again. Trust us when we say it will help you rid of your unnecessary mind baggage. What you are left with is the core of what you have to overcome, control, and deal with. Wrap yourself in the words of the religion. Allow the words of Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba, the Tabi'in, ulama, and the students of knowledge to fill your mind and your hearts. Yeah, like I told you, it's not just talking about polygyny. This book. It's talking about everything else. It's building your iman, and who doesn't want to build their iman? Who doesn't want to build their iman? For those of you who obviously we're going to be facing Allah on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, and who doesn't want to build their iman? So yeah. Where are we now? Okay. These words will ultimately give you the power not only to survive, but to surpass all expectations of what you think you have inside you. Tap into your inner self and face the fact that you are to deal with, and not let the arrogance stop you from achieving a high goal. Learn your nature, your femininity, your place in Islam, yourself. Don't hide behind the fear and anger that stops you from facing issues within yourself. There are no other person controlling your mind and your emotions. You may have been trained to believe that a woman's emotions are uncontrollable. See, some people maybe they've been made to believe that the woman's emotions are uncontrollable. I mean, no, obviously, yes, we don't deny that women have emotions, but like if you can control it, then why not? Uh, Okay, this is a lie, the sister says. You may have been trained to believe that a woman's anger runs its course, even if it destroys everything in its path. Okay, this is a lie. You may have been trained to believe that you must love a man so much that you risk your sanity. Okay, I've been telling you for a while now that, like, I'm not telling you not to love your husband. I'm not telling the husband not to love the wife, but like, to a point where it runs you to insanity. You will fight, you will shout, you will, like, you will do anything. I've read, I mean, I'm not known them, but I've read many cases where women have actually cut the genitals of their husbands because the husband took another wife. They've gone to that extent. They've cut off the genitals of the husband because he took another wife. Can you imagine that? Yeah. So what would they have to answer in front of Allah? Yeah. When they have to answer, Allah is trying to give you something that you don't have to answer in front of Him. You be patient, you take it easy, you try and control your emotion, but then you do something that will make you have to answer in front of Him. Okay? Okay, this is a lie. With all these hindrances, you do not see that you need Allah to help you make sense of what is the truth. Take to the prayer rug, offering tahajjud, nafil, and sunnah salah. Recently I've been doing a course. Yeah, I've been doing among the courses that I've been doing. Part of my me finishing my bachelor's in Islamic studies, and one of the courses about the etiquettes of a student of knowledge, and the hadith as well. The hadith, what we've been doing, it's been pushing us to do more nafil, more sunnah. If you're turning to Allah more, it's been pushing us these hadith. Every lecture that we're doing, every new page that we're doing, is pushing us to get closer to Allah. Yeah, to get closer to Allah. So this is something very important, especially if you're going to be out there as a da'i. If you're going to be out there studying, then obviously you have to get close to Allah. Yeah. So these lectures that I've been doing of just targeting, get closer to Allah, do more salah, do more nafil, do more dhikr, do more, like, bring yourself closer to Allah, and Allah will answer your prayers. So it's the same thing here. This book as well is telling you the same thing. Know that Allah sees you, hears you, knows every tear that falls. Do not doubt the power of turning to Allah, begging and praying for each comforter. After you start to fortify yourself with seeking closeness to Allah, you must do this immediately. Next step is to realize that you are in control of what you do, think, and feel. Yeah. This may be hard realization, because in this realization you are no longer you no longer have the excuses that offer you some measure of comfort. You see, the core issue is not the fact that your husband wants to marry again, but instead the core issue is the fact that you don't want to share. Okay, that's the bottom line. Bismillah. You don't want to share your husband with anyone, even if he was the worst man walking the earth. You still wouldn't want to share. Interesting issue, because a lot of women turn around and call their husband pigs, call their husbands whatever. He hasn't done this, he didn't do that, he didn't come home, he didn't whatever. But at the end of the day, when it comes to sharing him, they wouldn't want to share him. So ask yourself, sister said. This is clearly, ask yourself, whatever your answers whatever your reasons, you must realize that they are your feelings and your emotions, so you are in control of them. You at this point, you are answering to your emotions. Wouldn't it be better if your emotions answered you and you controlled them? You know what this, you know what this is called? This It's called will. The will to live, the will to survive, the will to breathe, the will to love, the will to strive, the will to attain, the will to change. It is your will that you're in control of. Sure, you've had help along the way in making up some of these feelings and emotions, but blame leaves you empty stomach. Feeling Feelings are transient and impermanent. They change what as we change and bend what we bend. Emotions and feelings do not decide, for although you may have been trained to believe that a woman's emotions are uncontrollable, it is time for you to realize that you can make a change in whatever emotions and feelings towards you. Okay, so this is like preparing the woman to to withstand whatever she's going through. Emotional change hurts. It hurts because sometimes it feels like a physical tear up or rip. In truth, this is what you will be doing: ripping up the old and useful ideas, thoughts in your mind and head, and replacing them with healthy, beneficial thoughts and feelings. You must live your life in accordance with the Quran and Sunnah. See what I keep telling you, that this book is not just about polygyny. It's not just how to live in polygyny. It's not just for people who are wanting to go in polygyny. It's telling you to go back to the Quran and Sunnah. It's telling you to live your life according to the Quran and Sunnah. Yeah, don't make the choice of which part of the Quran and Sunnah you will practice. Certainly don't fool yourself into believing that these negative feelings are natural. Reach deep inside yourself and pull out your will. Do you realize how powerful your will is? With your will alone, you can destroy your life and build a life. Do not separate your life from the women of the prophet's time by saying polygyny is not for you. A lot of sisters would turn around and say, "Yeah, no problem. You want to do polygyny is for you, but it's not for me. Yeah, I don't want it," kind of thing. Because we don't know what a lot. I'm not saying that you have to. You're forced to accept polygyny. Don't get me wrong, there, sister. But the fact is that, the book itself is saying, don't make that separate yourself. I mean, the wives of the prophets did not say that. They didn't. Your examples, your guides, and your encouragement. Do not remove yourself from the light that they possessed by making yourself of the woman who practice what is not so hard, and only what comes easy. Those women fought for you to practice this religion. They died for you to practice this religion. They went hungry for you to practice this religion. They lost sons, daughters, husbands, friends, and parents for you to practice this religion. And do not fail or insult what they have done for you. They are capable of changing if they you are capable of changing if they were capable of continuous torture, trial, struggle for the love of this religion. You are capable of changing your feelings if they died for the love of this religion. You are capable of changing so that the words "I can't do it" become impossible, unspeakable for you. You see. So the thing is that now this sister is explaining to you how strong the Sahabiya, the Tabi'in's wife and Tabi'in's wife, and all other scholars and everything, how strong they are, yeah, in the past, the generations that the Prophet ﷺ talked about, how they gave their lives for this religion, and how you're just saying, "Oh, it's not for me, not interested," not interested to get to even give it a try, not interested to kind of like, take the risk that Allah has put in front of me, the test that Allah has put in front of me, so that I can stand in front of Allah and I can answer properly. Not even prepared to do that. Anyway, like water, these types of thoughts can be erosive, creating devastating ditches, and also also known as ruts. The thing about ruts is that the power usually lies in the thoughts you have entrenched in your mind. In this case, you're more likely are thinking, one, I understand polygyny is part of Islam, but it's not for me. And two, I just can't do this. Well, if you change the thought and can begin to change the feeling, realize that without growth, you are stagnant. Know also that growth can hurt. Now, you can turn around and say to me, brother, it's easy for you to talk, you're not going through it or whatever. But remember, sister, we go through a lot as well in polygyny. The man has to work harder, has to provide more, has to make sure he's equal to both of them. Remember, maybe you don't notice it, but I have noticed that in cases of women where the husbands are not in polygyny, he can be going out, spending time with his friends, go fishing, go play football. She would not utter a word to him. But as soon as he gets married again, yeah, now she would say, my time, my time, my time. You didn't fulfill my time. You didn't fulfill my haqq. So we have to go through all this as well. We have to be very careful, very meticulous that we are just, yeah, so we don't be questioned on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Now the thing is that you won't be questioned for it. The answers will not be on you. The onus will not be on you. The onus will be on the man. Yeah. So you taking it as if you are the only one who has to go through this. The man cannot go through this. No, the man is going to be the one who's going to be standing in front of his Lord. If you decide now to Prophet ﷺ had a hadith. Yeah, he said, somebody asked him, a Sahaba asked him, who are those who are going to go to Jannah? I'm paraphrasing here. Who are those who are going to go to Jannah? And he said, those who follow my sunnah. And those who do not follow will not go to Jannah, obviously. This is paraphrasing. I'm not quoting the hadith itself. So obviously, if we're not following the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that means we don't want the Jannah. No, I think he said those who. I forgot the words. I need to check it. Just came to my mind and I mentioned it. But I think some of you listening might know what I'm talking about. He's talking about those who want to practice his sunnah. He's talking about those who really want Jannah. They will be practicing his sunnah. They will be accepting his sunnah. They will be they will not kind of make issues about it. So yeah, I understand that you might think that for a brother it's easier said than done. But like I keep saying to you, you will be rewarded more than we will be. You will be rewarded more than we will be. And in this dunya, all you're thinking about is the intercourse, the sex that comes with it. How much sex can a man have? How much can he have? Yeah. With another wife? Yeah. How much? Just sit down and think about it. Okay, you think that the man is taking another wife just because of sex. Okay, fine. Every night, every single night, he cannot. Be realistic. There'll be a time when that will die out. There'll be a time when she will probably be, not available or whatever, And also, things will happen in the life. She will probably get pregnant. She'll probably, be doing other things in life. So don't think of it that the man getting another wife is sex only. He bliss for men and suffering for women. No, don't think of it that way. Just think of it as a trial that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put on you. Yeah? And remember, not every man can handle several women. Yeah. This is why polygyny is not for everybody. I keep saying that it's not for everybody. A lot of men have mouth. They talk, they can, but when the time comes, they cannot do it. And this is why maybe it doesn't work for every man, because when the time comes, they cannot do it. So, sister, stop thinking that, I hate polygyny. It's not for me or whatever. The man should be the one who should be worried. The man who's going to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and answer about what he's done, what he hasn't done, what he's, injustices that he's done. He's the one that should be worried, not you. Yeah, you are thinking only by emotion. I understand polygamy is part of Islam, but it's not for me. You shouldn't be saying that. And two, I just can't do it. Well, if you change the thought, the thought, you can begin to change the feeling. Realize that without growth, you're stagnant. Know also that growth can hurt, and it is not always easy. As you grow, you feel strength and power that you possess as a servant of Allah. And how are you going to be able to fight these whispers of men and jinn? Without this growth, you are awash with ignorance, and you become like a gas tank that was filled with gas, but but as you traveled, the gas depletes, and eventually you are empty. Know that your journey to Jannah, that you should be mind state, that whatever it takes to get there, you will do it. I keep reminding the sisters of the rewards that Allah has put in front of them to attain that Jannah. And by going against it, fighting against your husband, fighting against the co-wife and everything, you could lose that chance of going to Jannah that Allah has given you. And the sister is reminding you of this now. The life of this world is but a fleeting passing moment. Think about this. Wasn't it just yesterday that you were 5 years younger and without children? Before you know it, you will be standing before Allah, wishing that your sins could be washed away. Okay, I sometimes think that, why did I waste so much time? I wasted a lot of time in the past, although I was practicing my deen, but I wasted a lot of time in the past, and there's a lot of things I could have done. I wish I'd done them much earlier. Anyway, we're on the 27-minute mark. I'm going to be staying until the 30-minute mark. I have to go because I got waiting. So let's just finish this page. Do not let shaitan fool you into thinking that you deny part of Allah's word for yourself and that it is okay. So if you're saying, "Oh, I don't want polygyny, I hate polygyny," denying Allah's word is not okay. Okay, the Quran is the words of Allah, the commandments of Allah. Allah has created you and your husband. Do you think that He created man and women the way He did with? Do you think that He created man and women the way He did with wisdom? Of course, the answer is yes. I keep reminding sisters that. Yeah. Do you think that Allah was not wise when He made polygyny acceptable, when He made it allowed? He was not wise then. You are wiser than Him for you to like and dislike and I don't want this, I don't want him to do this, I don't want him to do that. Yeah. So obviously, it was out of Allah's wisdom. Of course, the answer is yes. By knowing this, you must understand that when Allah speaks and allows something for His servant, then you must beware and avoid making that what is allowed something to be avoided. Yeah. So by you avoiding it, because you don't like it, talking bad about it, stopping sisters from getting into it. This is the word of Allah, and you shouldn't. Didn't Allah ask the Prophet about why he let his wives make something disliked? You remember that verse? The verse where the Prophet went to his wives. And he went to one of his wives and he drank something, and he came back to his wives, and Aisha and Hafsa radiallahu anha, they told him he smells of something. They were just doing that so that he can stop going to the other wife, kind of thing, And he turned around and said, as from today, I will not do it again. I'll not do it again. I'm just again paraphrasing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions him about the honey that he drank. Okay, and Allah questions him and then says, "Why do you make haram what I made halal?" Because he made it haram on himself. So he's not going to do it again. It's not it's haram to do it again. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions him in the Quran. Yeah. Didn't Allah ask the Prophet ﷺ about why he let his wives make something disliked? Then when Allah had made it permissible, Allah knows our nature and our husband's nature. And in his wisdom, he allows polygyny. If you run away from polygyny, you run away from the words of Allah. Is it worth it? Possibly angering Allah. Islam has lifted the Muslim woman from being man's property to being sold, inherited, and unidentified. Okay, at the time before Islam, women were sold, women didn't have an identity, women didn't inherit. Islam brought them back, elevated the women. Now you're going to turn around and oh, I want to follow this, I want to follow that, but I don't want to follow that one. Yeah, the man, this is the only sunnah that the man knows. I'm not gonna follow that. A lot of women say that. A lot of sisters say that this is the only sunnah that he knows. Okay, possibly angering Allah. Islam has lifted the woman from being man's property to be sold, inherited, and unidentified. So do not do Islam justice if you make your husband the reason for your denial of an ayah. You do not do Islam justice if you make your husband the reason for the denial of an ayah. You do not do Islam justice if you hide behind your husband as a reason for unacceptance. He is not your possession, neither are you his possession. You were put together, hopefully, with love and mercy between you and the attainment of Jannah. We always remember to see if our husbands love us, but we fail to always make sure to see that they are guiding us on the correct path. The most important part of being together is helping one another in birr and taqwa. Yeah, not to see who loves who more passionately. So I'm going to be finishing on this now. It's a 31 mark, 32 mark, but just reminding you, that it's very important that husband and wife have to help each other. Remind them of salah. Go to salah together. Go to the masjid together if you can. Pray together. Pray behind your husband. And there's a lot of sunnahs that a man can practice towards his wife. The Prophet ﷺ was doing, that he can get the rewards for it. Rather than you just thinking about in your head who's going to get married to, is he going to get married again? It just goes crazy. Anyway. Page 249, we've reached page 249, and we've done the first paragraph. We've finished on more passionately. Next week we will start. If you do not love your husband correctly, always putting Allah and His Prophet first, then you become a slave to that love. Okay, so we're going to be doing this next week. So I'm going to finish here. I've got to go back to my homework. I got to hand in my assignments tomorrow. I just have a commitment, and like I said, even if there's 0 people watching, I have to do the show and leave it there. And then anytime anybody can come. And please, put comments if you have anything. Have a conversation with me. And if I have said anything wrong, please forgive me. And if anything good you got from Allah. So we'll finish here. 33 minutes. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.